friends, welcome back to week 2 of our January blog class, making our card organizer designed by our cute friend Shanna Vineyard. This week we're going to work on the pockets, but before we get started on this book, I'm so excited to show you this new product of ours that we just released at CHA, and you all had sneak peeks of it, but I have the real stuff here to show you. So, it's called Miscellaneous Me, and I'm just going to kind of walk through it and explain it. Alright, so choices. 3 binders to choose from. We have a vintage craft binder that's just blank. Just kind of a clean slate, if you will. Then we have a graphic binder that's done in blues and aquas. Little grid pattern down here. And then we have this vintage binder, which is done with the dress forms and text and labels. Just gorgeous. Okay, so after you pick your binder, which, can I just say, what would you pay for a binder? These binders retail for $8.99. How awesome is that? $9 for a binder. And they're good binders. They're sturdy. They are quality. Okay, so after you choose your binder, then you get to choose your contents. And you can choose between a calendar planner inside or just like a life journal inside. So I'm going to show you those. So here is the vintage binder, and this one has the planner insides. So inside you have bookmarks, and then the filler pages, you have birthdays, and you have a weekly form that you fill out, what happens during the week. The tabs on this one are the months. So you have January through December, and on the front you have a cute little list that you can put birthdays, take notes, and then there's a pocket for receipts or cards or whatever you want to add to that. So that works as a planner, and they're just amazing. The design is so cool. And then we also added, for those of you who like to do a little extra journaling, there's a package, just plain note paper that's in a vintage style, and then we have some in a graphic style also. So this is the calendar. So with the binder, the contents, the tabs, and the note paper, and for the other one you'll see the page protectors, less than $30 for everything. So what a great gift, right? Less than $30 for a gift, and that's a substantial amount of stuff you've got going on there. So this would be more like a planner, but it still would be fun, I think, to use the page protectors and put it in between in the months, and kind of, you'd have your calendar of everything you did and then your pictures. So that'd be really fun. Okay, so for your life journal, that comes with bookmarks, your tabs that have the pockets that are the designs are just so fun, you're going to love them. And then we have page protectors, 4 different page protectors. You've got one that's just a 6x8, and some of those are die cut. They have little really fun edges on them. Then you have one that's 2 4x6s, so you can just put a photo, or you can put these die cuts, and the packages come with a few of those. And then also in our paper line, the cutouts, we've made that size also so that you can use those coordinating with it. This one has 4 3x4s, and then this one has 2 3x4s and a 4x6. So these are for somebody who, well, actually they're for anybody, but if you have pages that you like to do and you like to add everything you can possibly add and spend lots of money and lots of time on one page, that's great. But if you have 7 little kidlets running around the house and you want to get through your photos quick, this is made so that you can just plunk. And we've got the designs for you so that you just plunk pictures, do a little bit of journaling. It's the plunk system. It's my plunk system. 4x6 photo, little journaling. Or for the person who likes to do more, you can embellish these up and make your book sit out this big. It's personal preference. So they don't limit themselves to people who are trying to get their scrapbooking done quickly at all, because you can be creative as you want to be with these. But for those who do want to, they pull together really super quick and for under $30. Okay, so for those of you who do want to, we've just done a couple covers here where we've added lace and flowers and bling and die cuts and doilies and more lace and tulle. Just, you know, totally decorated as much as you want. So you can go, this is the vintage album, and then this one's the craft album. So it's just the plain one. Same thing, we've just used lace and dimensional stickers and doilies and flowers, tags, bling, more flowers, our background stamps, ink on the edges. So these are so fun. You can go as crazy as you want or stay as simple as you need to. And it's quick, it's effective, it's inexpensive. We have fallen in love with them here. So that is our Miscellaneous Me system. And it's so much fun, you guys. I'm so excited for you to see it. It's all about your treasures, your life, your dreams, your hopes, your failures, your life. Everything to do with you and your family and those people that make you happy. It's fun. You're going to love it. I can't even wait for every single one of you to hold it in your hands. I want to kiss it. Alrighty, last week I led you astray, and I apologize. Up one side, down the other. Didn't mean to. On the page that will end up being October, November, which is the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th page, the back side, I told you to use a third piece of flutter, which I did not tell you to buy, so that's impossible. So instead of flutter, you have enough of this tiles. I think that's what it's called. Love letter tiles. So use that for this page. I'll show you how good it looks. Don't panic, ladies. It's what I'm using on mine. So it looks pretty much the same because Bo Bunny makes your papers to coordinate. All for you. Okay, so that's how I led you astray. I apologize. And today we're going to learn how to make the pockets. And you get to choose if you want them flush, if you just have 2 or 3 people in your family, or if you're like me and you have 101, you can pop them up a little bit. So let's get going. Wait, no, just kidding, don't go. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of next month's vlog class. You are going to be amazed. Dun, 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 dun. Do you see that? It's a drawer, inside of which has mini albums, things you can throw, cards, tags, all kinds of fun stuff. This is so fun. These are little pockets, and then there's a card inside that pocket, and you open it up and you can put a photo in there. There's all kinds of little pockets and folders and mini albums and fun stuff, and it's just so fun to display somewhere in your house. You can even put different mini albums that you have. Anyway, we've made this with our Snow Day collection, and that will be our February blog class, so I'm super excited about it. I gotta break it all down for you, though. If I were a dancer, I'd break it down for you right now. Now, let's go ahead and get started, and I'm gonna show you how to make your pockets. Okay. Alright, so for the pockets, you're gonna have to make 2 decisions. The first one is going to be, again, if you want them flush to the page, like this. Hopefully you're going to be able to see this. Or if you want them to lift away from the page, like this. So that's your first decision. The second decision is, on this pocket here, Shanna left this cute, that barbershop stripe that's on envelopes. She left it there, and I actually cut mine so that it was like the rest of them, 4 by 12 or 4 inches pocket, and hers is a little bit bigger. So those are your only 2 decisions you're going to have to make. So in doing that, on your first pocket, it's with the love letters paper. So you can either choose to cut it here and then use that as the pocket, or I tried to cut it as close as I could to the bow and to the tag so that I had that tag right on my pocket. So you should have a bunch of these 4 by 12 pieces of paper. and you're going to use most of them for the pockets. There are a couple that you'll have to cut into a new paper, but that's okay. You have plenty of paper. In fact, you're going to have some left over to make cards and stuff in your card organizer. So, I'll tell you once, if you want to just do the 8-inch pockets, just cut it at 8 inch, adhere on 3 sides, and stick it to your page that we already covered from last week. If you want it to pop up, we are going to cut it at 8 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to cut that one there. I want the little I adore you to be on there. I could have cut it from the other side and had Kiss Me in the Rain on there. So personal preference. And I'm just using this one because I had it here. So 8 3/4 by 4 inches is the first thing you're going to do. Then we're going to get our scorer. And rather than give you measurements this way, I'm going to say set it down so it's flush with both sides. Then we're going to go in 1/4 of an inch and give our first score. And then just 1/8 of an inch more and score. So from the right side, I've scored in 1/4 of an inch and 3/8 of an inch. 1/4 of an inch and then 1/8 of an inch more. I don't know if the light's catching that where you can see. And then I'm going to do that to my right side also. I'm going to go in 1/4 of an inch for my first line. And then bump over 1/8 of an inch to 3/8 and make my next line. Then I'm going to turn it so that my top is on the left. And I'm going to do that again on the bottom. I'm going to score it at 1/4 of an inch. And then go in 1 more 1/8. Whoops. I hate it when your rub-on tool skips lines. Okay. Then just cut out the square that ends up being down here. And it doesn't matter if it's straight because we're going to round these corners anyway. So just kind of get that out of there so there's not bulk. And then fold that on both lines. And you'll see you're going to have a pocket. I mean, not a pocket, but a little edge that we're going to adhere on. I don't know what things are called. Sometimes I just get my nerves muddled. I'm going to fold that off camera. Okay, so after you get those all folded, we're going to put adhesive on the piece that's 1/4 of an inch. Not the piece that's 1/8 of an inch, just the piece that's 1/4 of an inch on the back side. And then that's where it is going to stick to our page and give us that pocket. So, actually, I've already made my fold, so I'm actually going to unfold it to put my adhesive on. That's just easier for me. Sorry about that, I just dropped paper if you heard that. Just go right along that edge, and I have 1/4 inch tape, so it just kind of fits. So now I've got my adhesive on. I'm going to fold that back up. And again, I'm not going to stress too much about my corners because I'm going to corner around that. I think the trickiest part is, you know, just laying it on here. Just so it's kind of even. I guess if you just kind of square up one side, your other side should follow. So this part, I did a lot of kind of messing around with it. And, by the way, thank you for all of the suggestions on your binding. The jury's still out, and I am still weighing my options. I'm actually just going to, this is giving me trouble, so I'm going to make its corner just a little bit more, a little deeper, because it's just not behaving like I want it to. So I think actually what I'm going to do is fold it under and get my bottom piece on. Really? You guys are going to think I've never done this before, but I really have. So after you put that last side down, to get a good seal, I use my scoring tool and just go in and kind of press down that 1/4 of an inch where you used your adhesive. Just get it pressed down so that my pocket's down. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but most adhesives, they're pretty forgiving right when you first put them on. You can relift, but after it stays on for a while, you get a good seal and it will rip if you bring it up. So just get a good seal and use your tool, or you could use another piece of chipboard, you know, the little pieces that you cut off, and go down there and press that down, just so you can get your pockets pressed down. So now I've got that wide pocket. So I'm going to show you the papers and pockets that you'll need for what, for each page, but it really doesn't matter. The papers coordinate so wonderfully that if you get them in the wrong order, it is not even a big deal. No one's going to see my book, no one's going to see your neighbor's book. It really doesn't matter. So our first pocket that's on the stripe is the love letters paper. And some of these you're already going to have these little 4-inch strips. Then on the back side of that, we have the love letters airmail for our pocket. Alright, next we have love letter hearts. And then we're going to do love letter stripe. And then love letters notes. And the back side of love letter hearts. And then the back side of love letter puzzle. And then the back side of love letters. Then your piece of love letters flutter. The back side of the love letter keys. This one, keys. And then on our last page is the back side of love letter journal. And then the graph, which is the back side of love letter banners. Then after you get all of those glued on, you're going to round all the corners. I waited till I had the pockets on to do that, and just so that I had to do it once and not 1, 2, 3 times. So now go back and round all of your corners. And I used the We Are Memory Keepers chomper, and it went through everything flawlessly. So that is it for today. That's kind of the boring part, but it'll be so fun when you fill the pockets. And then next week we're going to decorate them. That's what all this stuff poking out here is. I've tried to get each page its stuff. So go ahead and get your pockets on, and then we will see you again next week. Bye-bye.
So that's our miscellaneous me. Alex, you can't walk around when we're filming.
Well, you're not filming it.
Every day he's shuffling. Come on, buddy.
Maybe a little more enthusiastic.
Arriba, I'm Lindley. Yeehaw! Come on, get back to your desk.
There you go.
How's that? Better?
Alright.
Excuse me, did you just hear my arriba Lindley? Do you understand the language that is coming out of my mouth?
Not really.
Hey!
Not the way
So,
Give it a minute.
now. You done? Alex, I'm so sorry. I'm just kidding.
I was gonna let you record now.
Hey! Or you can choose 1 4x6 and 2 3x5s. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What? The 3x4s.
Oh, I
Not
said
3x5.
3x5.